So, we're producing a film. It's called Three Extraordinary Women. It's about three women who overcame trauma in their lives. And the tagline of the film is, "What's your personal Kilimanjaro?" Because in the film, the women climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. And this is a metaphor for overcoming mountains and obstacles in your personal life. So, with that being said, I would like to ask you, what is an obstacle in your life that you struggled with that you had to overcome?
I would have to say, obstacle in my life that I've overcome is disordered eating, bulimia. Growing up in high school in a Hispanic family, I had an eating disorder. Obviously, living up to societal standards, family standards, I had to. How did I deal with the emotions? I ate my feelings. I had to live up to family expectations and how my friends looked. And then as I get into adulthood, it was the only way that I could control my emotions, my feelings. It was the one thing that I could control: what I ate, how I got rid of it, how I purged, how I handled things, because everything else was barreling out of control. So that was the one thing that I had growing up. That was my issue.
And during this time where you were struggling with disordered eating, what was your internal dialogue like? What was the conversations that you had with yourself every single day?
I think the biggest thing was there was no self love. So I would not be able to coach myself out of a situation or love myself or appreciate who I was and what I was accomplishing, because I was so focused on the binge and the purge, and the habit itself had just overtaken any possibility of me being able to come out of it at that point.
So, what brought you to the point where you were able to kind of develop healthier coping mechanisms? What internal thoughts brought you to the point where you were able to say, "I need to make a change" and implement that change?
There was a point in my life, and I had to think about, if I am supposed to have love for everybody else, and I'm such a giver, I will do everything in my power to make sure other people are fed, clothed, happy, and doing the best for themselves. I would go to bat if somebody hurt my family, hurt my best friends. But why couldn't I do that for myself? And that was the moment that the light turned on. Whereas I can't fully do it for other people unless I learn to do it for myself. So when that light turned on, I had to change the narrative to start filling my cup so it overflowed. And the overflow was for everybody else, the filling was for myself. So then I had to learn how to re-talk to myself, how to love myself, how to do all the things for myself, and take the blessings and take the lessons for myself before I could do for everybody else, which made me start to really think about what I was putting into my body, into my system, into my mind for healing before I could do it for anybody else.
So now I want to ask, after you had that realization, how did your internal dialogue change from before? Like, what kind of things were you putting into your mind? What were you telling yourself after you realized that you had to fill your own cup?
I think the biggest thing is I had to start saying it first. As hard as that was, I had to be able to put it on a mirror, put it on paper, say it, because sometimes just getting those words out was hard. So to even be able to mouth the words, "You are worthy, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are not what other people say, you don't have to receive what other people say because you are in control of that." Being able to say that or read it every day and then believe it, it's not fake it till you make it. It's face it till you ace it. And I believe that once I started facing it, I started acing it.
So, my final question would be, for other people who are maybe struggling with disordered eating or even just general self worth issues, what would be your advice to help them maybe not overcome it, but at least get to a better place within themselves?
I think the biggest thing for me is find people who you can put into your tribe. Don't just, I was referred to counselors, I was referred to therapists that I didn't jive with. And now I've learned to become the coach that I didn't have. So I went back to school, became a coach because I want to be that for other people. But use a friend, talk to strangers, go to groups, find the most random people, but somebody that you can jive with, that you probably wouldn't think of until you find somebody who can help you, because you don't have to do it alone, because you got yourself into it, right? So I got myself into this place. Somebody else can also help me get out of it. So I always believe in partnership and people and group and community. So for me, my recommendation is always try to find people who felt like you to help you get through the process.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate you.